Welcome to the Morning Report, a production of FightBackMedia.com, the #1 source of urban conservative information in America.
Well, hi, my name is Willie Lawson. I hope you're enjoying the Morning Report today, or tonight, or whenever you're watching. I would like to ask you something. I'd like to ask for your participation in what we're doing. It is very apparent that the establishment media has lost their influence on the American public. And it is independent media like this and others that are carrying the torch for the republic. A lot of us creators out here are, frankly, small creators. I consider myself like a macro creator. I'm proud to be a macro creator. You know, we could always use a little assistance here. You can imagine that YouTube doesn't like me very much. So we can't really monetize through YouTube, but we can monetize through our website. We'd like for you to go to FightBackMedia.com, FightBackMedia.com, and offer whatever assistance that you deem that we are worthy of. That would be very helpful. You can do as little as $1 a month. $1 a month to help us keep the website up, to help us make sure that we have what we need here in the studio, make this thing better, hopefully make it better. We could really use your help. Thank you ever so much. We're going to get on with the program. Again, go out there and do what you do. We appreciate you being here. Again, go out there and learn something, love somebody. And for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of FightBackMedia.com, 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 and FightBackMediaTV.com. Excuse me. I'm glad that you are here today. A lot of you who have been following me for a while realize that I used to work in public schools. I worked as an assistant teacher in math departments, and I also did some assistant band directing, actually, for one school, a couple of schools, and a good friend of mine for the past. I did it for 17 years. Well, wrote a lot of halftime shows, went to a lot of high school football games, a lot. It was good times though. But what I got in my work, and then of course in my other thing, was I got a really good understanding on how school administrators, especially in this area, work, how that whole thing works. What do they do with people and teachers and, people? One of the techniques that is often used when you want to get rid of somebody, but you really don't have cause, even in Florida, you really don't have cause and they have tenure, is that you make their work situation untenable for them. If they're a math teacher, you give them all the worst classes, and you give them to them in a row, and then you assign them the worst duties like lunch duty. Lunch duty is making sure that the kids are doing what they're supposed to do in the lunchroom, making sure that on the outside they're not running around like crazy people, which they will do, especially in middle school, junior high school. They're running like insane people, keeping them out of the building, just all sorts of duties. Parking lot duty, which actually that one wasn't too bad. You go out there and look at the parking lot and go, it's still here. Duty's over. Working in the main office, working in the guidance office, that kind of stuff, And you give them the worst duty you can come up with. Because what would happen eventually is a lot of people would decide, screw it, I don't want to work here anymore. And as soon as they could get out and go work somewhere else, they were out. And of course, your principal didn't have anything to say bad about you because they didn't have enough to fire you in the first place. They just didn't like you or didn't like your attitude or whatever. So they would set up an untenable situation and you would self-deport, so to speak, right? Or they make you or if you were like a specialist teacher, like I saw this with an agriculture department at the first school I worked at. They cut down the dude's number of classes to a point where he didn't have enough kids in his program, his ag program, to actually, and I saw it at another school in other areas too, ag especially, didn't have enough kids to actually support the agricultural program. So the teacher would have to, if they wanted to keep their job there, would have to teach something else as well that was out of field. And you could get permission to teach out of field, like an English class or something else, a health class or whatever, out of field for a year. And they made it impossible for them to build that back up. So the person would have to leave the school. Crazy, isn't it? But it's true. And if you work in a school environment, you've probably seen it too. I don't know if anybody who's working with the Trump administration has worked in a school before, but it seems to be happening with the federal government. So in a bold move, President Trump made it clear that his administration was serious about using some IRS workers to help facilitate deportations, repatriations, I like to call it. Well, initially, we thought it was a joke, right? Trump's comments have been sparked by a broader discussion about how federal agencies may be repurposed to enforce immigration policies more aggressively. Instead of hiring extra people, you've already got people. So what he said last month, Trump suggested that we send 90,000 IRS agents to the border to help agents round up illegal immigrants and send them back to their respective country, repatriate them. This came just days after he issued the indefinite hiring freeze on the federal agency. While some did take Trump's remarks seriously, well, some didn't take it seriously because, we'll get some of those IRS agents and send them down on the border. Yeah, everybody laughed. Some internal documents that have been obtained by the Wall Street Journal suggest that the dude's not joking. A memo dated February 7th revealed that Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem tasked Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent with deputizing law enforcement personnel, including IRS agents, to aid in immigration enforcement efforts. IRS agents are often armed and possess the authority to make arrests, making them suitable for support down at the border. IRS agents also have access to information databases for businesses and individuals through its audit functions, which allows them to enforce the ban on hiring illegal immigrants. A William Mitchell Law Review highlighted that using IRS agents to address illegal immigration shifts the cost of deportation onto those profiting from bringing illegal immigrants to the United States rather than burdening taxpayers. It also noted that the approach could strengthen enforcement by incentivizing informants, encouraging civilians to report violations, and helping enforce the law. This comes as an increasing number of illegal immigrants have been returning to their home countries under the Trump administration. And we've got information that some of the caravans have been told that, hey, it's not worth it. Turn around. And some of them have been turning around and going back home, or going back wherever they came from. Illegal aliens who attempted to cross the U.S.-Mexico border have been stopped due to increasing border security at the border. Authorities in Honduras found 26 immigrants from Venezuela and Cuba heading back to Nicaragua, while another group of 23 illegal aliens from Honduras, Venezuela, Panama, and El Salvador are returning to their home countries from Mexico. So as painful as it seems to be for some people, this is working. It's working. And it is just hysterical that they're planning on using IRS agents to help in the effort. And I think that if you want to make the IRS smaller, especially by the number of people that it employs, some of these people are not going to do it. They're just, for all sorts of reasons, I'm not doing it. I don't care. I'm not going. Forget it. I quit. Okay. So you win by attrition here. A lot of people are going to self-deport themselves from their federal government position, which saves money too. Okay. Genius. Absolute flipping genius. People aren't going to like it. People are going to hate it. But that's okay. My name is Willie Lawson. This is Morning Report. Morning Report, again, is a production of FightBackMedia.com, 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 and the FightBackMediaTV.com. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody. And for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.